ओके, किती जण यूट्यूबला जॉईंड आहेत? आवाज येतोय? ओके. $71. So shall I start? Is it visible? So in last lecture we learned about the sericulture, basic things of the sericulture, history, then different terminologies, different species, then volatilism of the silkworm. These all things we see in last lecture. Now we see what is moraculture, that is the cultivation of the mulberry plants. Okay. So what is moraculture? So the cultivation of the mulberry plant for the purpose of the rearing of silkworm is called as the moraculture. So here there are different species of the mulberry which are grown in temperate, tropical and subtropical regions of the world. So these mulberry plants specially used as a food for the silkworm species Bombyx mori. Okay. So the next one is the origin of the mulberry plant. Mostly the mulberry plant is or the morus species which are native from the lower slopes of the Himalayas, either in India or in China. But these mulberry plants are originated from the Himalayas, the slopes of the Himalayas. Okay. So then the selection of the varieties, mulberry variety. So first, the species of the mulberry variety. So there are the 20 species of the mulberry varieties, out of which only 4 varieties, the 4 species are more useful for the cultivation purpose. So first one is the Morus alba, then second species Morus serrata, then third one Morus indica, then fourth one Morus latifolia. These are the 4 species which are used for the cultivation, especially for the rearing of the silkworm. Then the Central Silk Boards Central Silk Board of the India, which developed some high yielding varieties. So these are the Karma 2, S30 and S54. These are the varieties which are suitable for Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu states, means the southern India. These varieties are suitable for southern India. Then S162, S519, S633. These varieties which are suitable for the North India state like Punjab, Jammu Kashmir, then Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal. Okay. Then next one is the propagation. So the mulberry plants are propagated by both ways, by seed also and by vegetative also. So the next one is the climatic requirement for the rearing of the mulberry, for the cultivation of the mulberry plants. So first the mulberry plants, we know the mulberry plants can grow under the temperate and tropical conditions. So it required the temperature ranges from 24 degrees centigrade to 37 degrees centigrade. Mulberry plants required the temperature range 24 degrees centigrade to 37 degrees centigrade. Okay, this is the optimum range of the temperature which is required to for the growth of the mulberry plants. Then in temperate region, these mulberry plants are cultivated in May to October. Okay, in temperate region, these mulberry plants are growing to May to October, in the month of May to October, and in tropical region it can be grown throughout the year. Okay, so this is temperature requirement for the mulberry plant. Then next one is the rainfall. So mulberry plant can grow where the rainfall is received in between 600 millimeter to 2500 millimeter. Okay, so this is the range of the rainfall where the mulberry plant can be grown. Okay, so these are the two things of the climatic requirement. Then after the humidity requirement of the mulberry plant, it can grow, the ideal humidity is required in between 65 to 80%. Okay, and the sunshine hours is most important. In temperate region, mulberry can grow the sunshine range from the 5 to 10 hours per day. म्हणजे 5 ते 10 तास जर सनशाईन असलं तर टेम्परेट रिजनमध्ये mulberry ग्रो होऊ शकतं. And in tropical countries, the sunshine hours are 9 to 13 days per day in a day. Okay, so this is the sunshine requirement. Then the elevation. Okay, so in Japan it can grow from 22 meter to 1735 meter mean sea level. Okay, then in USSR, okay, means Russia, Soviet Russia. Okay, in Soviet Russia, it is grown on the from height ranges from the 400 to 2000 meter mean sea level, from the mean sea level, and in India it is grown from 300 meter to 700 meter height from the mean sea level. MSL means mean sea level. Okay, so this is the elevation. Then the soil. So which type of the soil is most suitable for the mulberry cultivation? So the soil which can supply the major and minor nutrients, then the oxygen for the root respiration, then mechanical support, or you can say the anchorage for the mulberry plant, then it can reach with the water. Okay, soil as a storehouse of the water. Okay, so this is the soil requirement, and the pH of the soil is from the 6.5 to 7, means the neutral pH is good for the cultivation of the mulberry plant. Then the planting. Okay, so when you go for the planting of the mulberry plant then that time you can go through the location and topography of the first location and topography. You can select the proper location and topography of that particular place. So in location and topography, mulberry plantation should be cultivated near the rearing house. Okay, mulberry plant can cultivate near the rearing house, which is suitable or which is useful for the harvesting of the mulberry leaves and shoots for the feeding purpose of the feeding to the silkworm. So that purpose you can grow the mulberry plant near to the rearing house. Then it is easy to transport and immediate use of leaves for the feeding, because after harvesting mulberry leaves lost the moisture. Okay. जेवढं जवळ आपल्याला रेअरिंग हाऊसपासून घेता आलं तेवढं चांगलं राहील, जेणेकरून ट्रान्सपोर्ट इज इझी अँड दी हार्वेस्टेड लीव्स ऑफ द मलबेरी प्लांट आर immediately give to the silkworm for the feeding purpose, because when you are late to give the mulberry leaves to silkworm, then they will loses the moisture. Okay, so that purpose the mulberry cultivation should be near the rearing house. Then preparation of the land. How to prepare the land? So which field you select, which will be leveled and improved fertility levels. Okay, fertility व्यवस्थित असलं पाहिजे, level असली पाहिजे. Then leveling of the land depend upon the topography. तिथली topography कशी आहे त्याच्यावर त्याची leveling ही depend आहे. Then after leveling, the deep plowing is required to remove the weeds, and soil has to be made into the fine tip before the pit are prepared for planting. दूध झाली पाहिजे व्यवस्थित. कशा करता आपण डीप फ्लोइंग करतो की वीड त्या ठिकाणी चिरून गेले पाहिजे आणि त्यानंतर सॉइल दूध झाली पाहिजे की पीट करण्यासाठी. ओके, देन this type of these are the photographs for the land preparation. Then the planting season. So the early spring and late autumn season, which are best for the mulberry plantation. Early spring and late autumns, these are the best suitable for the mulberry plantation. Then the plantation in winter and summer, which are not suitable for the mulberry plantation. So you can avoid these two seasons for the mulberry plantation. And the planting should not be delayed in spring. When you go for plantation in spring season, so it should be early spring. Do not plant delayed in late spring. So you can plant it in early spring. Okay. Then in India, particularly in India, the planting season are varies in different parts. Like in Karnataka, the mulberry are planted in July to August, and in West Bengal, the cuttings of the mulberry plants are planted in November month. Okay, or you can say in late autumn. Okay, so these are the seasons used in India. Send the direction of the planting. Next one is the direction of the planting. So in temperate region, the row direction, the direction of the row of the planting depend on the light intensity and wind direction. In temperate region particularly, the direction of the row which is depend on the light intensity and the direction of the wind. And in the mulberry seedling planted in row either in north, south or east west direction. But एक तर नॉर्थ साऊथ आणि ईस्ट वेस्ट डायरेक्शनला त्यांचे प्लांटेशन करतो. तेच टेम्परेट रिजनमध्ये विच इज डिपेंड ऑन दी इंटेन्सिटी, लाईट इंटेन्सिटी अँड विंड डायरेक्शन. अँड इन ट्रॉपिकल रिजन्स there is no specification in direction. You can plant in any direction in tropic regions. Okay. Then selection of the planting materials. So how you can select the planting materials? So first of all, the mulberry plants are raised from the semi-hardwood cuttings. Okay, the mulberry plants are raised from semi-hardwood cutting. बघा आता तुम्ही हॉर्टिकल्चरमध्ये या गोष्टी शिकले असाल, हार्डवूड कटिंग, सेमी हार्डवूड कटिंग. ओके, सो दी mulberry can grow planted raised from semi hardwood cuttings, and you can select these cuttings from the वेल इस्टॅब्लिश गार्डन ऑफ 8 to 12 month old. 8 ते 12 महिन्यांचं जे काही गार्डन असेल मलबेरीचं चांगल्या पद्धतीने इस्टॅब्लिश झालेलं गार्डन, अशा गार्डनमधनं तुम्हाला ह्या कटिंग्स ज्या आहेत या घ्यायच्या आहेत. असं गार्डन सिलेक्ट करायचं आहे. ओके. देन ओनली फुल ग्रोन थिक मेन स्टेम्स. You can select only full grown thick main stems which are free from the insect and disease damage. Okay, and the diameter of that cutting, that stem is from 10 to 12 millimeter. Okay, you can choose likewise for the preparation of the cuttings. Okay, then the cutting should be of 12 to 20 centimeter. बघा ते कट किती घ्यायचे आपल्याला, 15 to 20 centimeter लांबीचे कट्स घ्यायचे, which having the 3 to 4 active buds. Okay, and when you go for the planting, then you should have 45-degree slanting cuts are at the bottom end. Okay, कट कसा घ्यायचा आहे, जो काही बॉटम एंडचा तो 45 डिग्री स्लॅंटचा घ्यायचा आहे. देन when you going for the cutting, then you can use the sharp clean cut and at the both ends of the cuttings without splitting the bark. म्हणजे त्याचे साल न काढता आपल्याला त्या ठिकाणी काय करायचं आहे, ते कट्स घ्यायचे. अँड मॅन्युअली और पॉवर ऑपरेटेड मलबेरी कटर्स इज अवेलेबल फॉर दी क्विक कटिंग ऑफ प्रोपॅगेशन मटेरियल. बघा आता आपल्याला मॅन्युअली किंवा पॉवर ऑपरेटेड मलबेरी कटर्ससुद्धा मार्केटमध्ये अवेलेबल आहे. तुम्ही त्याचा यूज करा आणि ते कटिंग्स करून द्या. ओके, सो दिस इज दी सिलेक्शन ऑफ दी प्लांटिंग मटेरियल. देन these are the planting material. Then the planting method. So the mulberry plants are planted by 3 to 4 ways. First method is the pit system. In pit system, particularly this system is followed for rain-fed crops. Okay, where the irrigation facility is not available in that places, particularly where we can grow the crops on rain-fed conditions. That's in that area this system is utilized, pit system. So here you can dig out the pit size from 45 into 45 into 45 centimeter, means length 45 centimeter, the width is 45 centimeter, and height or depth, you can say the depth of the pit is 45 centimeter. Okay, then the equal quantity of organic manure, you can mix the equal quantity of organic manure, red soil, sand in each pit. After mixing, and this sapling is plant. Okay, you can plant the sapling. Before going to plant the planting of sapling, you can mix the equal quantity of organic manure, red soil, sand, and then mix well, and then you can plant the sapling in that particular pit. Okay, so spacing in the plant to plant and row to row spacing is 90 into 90 centimeter. म्हणजे plant to plant 90 centimeter distance असलं पाहिजे आणि row to row सुद्धा 90 centimeter. Okay, this is the spacing. Then next method is the row system. Okay, in row system, this system particularly used in irrigated mulberry cultivation. Okay, here we can make the vegetation furrow. Okay, and then after the spacing, we maintain the spacing is 60 into 60 centimeter, means row to row and plant to plant system. Plant spacing is row to row 60 and plant to plant 60. Or when you use this system for rainfall, then here 90 into 50 centimeter, means the row to row distance is 90 centimeter and plant to plant distance is 50 centimeter. Then this method particularly used for the planting of high yielding varieties like the V1. Okay. So this is the row system. Okay. So then paired row system. It is similar to row system, but here the two rows are nearer to each other. Okay. The spacing, wider spacing in between the two rows. After two rows are in near to each other, and other rows are wider space from there. In this system, the spacing is the row to row spacing is 75 or 105 centimeter, and the plant to plant distance is 90 centimeter. So in this system we can grow the intercrops. Okay. So here the most advantage are here the less weeds, then we can get the additional income by intercropping. Then mechanization means we can use the machineries for the intercultural operations or other operations. It is possible, and it also save the water. Then the intercrop should not compete with mulberry. You can select such type of intercrop that are not compete with the mulberry. Okay. Then the space created should be effectively utilized. Yes, no doubt. We can use the space for the intercrop purpose or for mechanization. So the space which is effectively utilized. And incompatible crop invites the pest and disease problems. So you can not use these crops as an intercrop which are susceptible for the pest and diseases. Okay. So here this is the paired row system. Then next one is the collar system. So this collar system also similar to row system, except that the distance between the plants is very much less. मला plant to plant distance या ठिकाणी खूप लेस केलेला असतो. The spacing between row is 30 to 45 centimeter, and the spacing between plant is 10 to 15 centimeter. Here very much less distance is maintained in the plant to plant. Okay. And this system is mostly system used in Kolar district of Karnataka, so that it is called as the Kolar system. So the nursery preparation, first of all you can prepare the nursery bed, then they wear the saplings into polythene bag or into beds, and then after you can transplant it into main field by using these are the methods: pit method, row method, paired row method, and collar system. Okay. Then manuring. Why we add the manure? Why we apply the manure? We can apply manure to increase the retention capacity, then improve the texture of the soil, and helping in good rooting. Then it increases the microbial population in the rhizosphere of mulberry plant. Okay. Then it supplies the nutrients in addition to macronutrients. And here we can use the organic manures like the neem cake, groundnut cake, and compost. Okay. These are the organic manures we use for in mulberry cultivation. Okay. So then next one is the intercultural operations. What are the operations we carried out during the cultivation of the mulberry plant? Here we can the intercultural operation to control the weeds. Simultaneously, these operations make the soil porous and which allow the water to soak deep into the soil to ensure better aeration and nutrition. So that purpose we can follow this intercultural operation. In intercultural operation, first weeding is required in 30 days after the planting. Okay, 30 दिवसानंतर required after the 30 days of the planting. Then this intercultivation operation should be done at least 3 to 4 times in a year. 3 ते 4 वेळा कमीत कमी वर्षात आपल्याला हे इंटरकल्चरल ऑपरेशन्स म्हणजे वेडिंग वगैरे किंवा आपण त्याला म्हणतो होळिंग वगैरे हे ऑपरेशन्स आपल्याला घ्यावे लागतात. ओके, देन वॉटर मॅनेजमेंट अँड इरिगेशन. ओके, सो इन मलबेरी प्लांट्स we can give you water or we can irrigate by different ways. First one is the furrow method, second one is the flat bed method. Okay, then next one is the basin method, or you can use the micro irrigation like sprinkler method, also utilized for the irrigation purpose, and some areas the drip irrigation also used for the irrigation purpose for the mulberry plants. Okay, so by this way you can irrigate the mulberry plants. Okay, then the pruning. Okay, so why we do the pruning? Especially the pruning is required to remove the undesirable branches of the mulberry. Okay, these branches are not undesirable. That branches can be removed by pruning. Okay, then it also gives the shape and size to the plant, proper shape and proper size to the plant. Okay, and it improves the leaf yield of that particular plant. To improve the quality of leaves and to facilitate easy leaf harvest and intercultivation. So that purpose we can carry out the pruning in mulberry field or mulberry garden. Okay, so these are the some objectives of the pruning. Then quality of leaves. Okay, so which quality leaves are used for the feeding purpose? So which are dark green in color, turgid, then soft, thick, and good moisture content and high percentage of protein, which are most preferred by the silkworm for the feeding purpose, which can give the better silk yield, so that you can select the leaves which are dark green in color, then turgid and soft thick and good moisture content and high percent of protein. Okay, then the method of leaf harvesting. Methods of the leaf harvesting. So we can harvest the leaves and give to the feeding purpose. Here the three methods are used. First one is the leaf picking method. Here only we can pick the leaves with or without petioles. Okay, individual leaves are picked from the mulberry plants with or without petioles, and this leaf picking will start 10 weeks after bottom pruning. Okay, and सबसिक्वेंट पिकिंग बघा, एकतर 10 आठवड्यानंतर ज्यावेळेला आपण प्रुनिंग केली बॉटम प्रुनिंग, त्याच्यानंतर 10 आठवड्यानंतर त्यांची पिकिंग स्टार्ट करतो, किंवा सबसिक्वेंट म्हणजे अगोदरची जी पिकिंग केली आहे त्याच्यानंतर 10 आठवड्याने पुन्हा आपण ते न्यूज पिक करतो. अँड दी इंटरवल आर डन ॲट द इंटरवल ऑफ 7 to 8 weeks. ओके, आणि पिकिंगमध्ये सबसिक्वेंट पिकिंग जे आहे त्याच्यामध्ये इंटरवल आपल्याला 7 ते 8 आठवड्याचा ठेवायचा आहे. Then the main advantage of this method is that leaves can be selected to suit the growth stages of plant. अर्ली स्टेजेस जे असतात, अर्ली ग्रोथ स्टेजेसला त्यावेळेला आपण लीफ पिक केलेले जे काही लीव्ज आहेत ते आपण त्यांना खाऊ घालतो. ओके, बट these method require more labor. Okay, laborious method. So it is quite expensive because it required the labors. Then next method is the branch cutting. Here whole branch will be cut from the plant, mulberry plant, and it will be given for the feeding purpose to the silkworm. So this method is called as the patching system in Kashmir region. So entire branch are cut and fed to the worms. Before that, the topping is done to ensure the uniform maturity of the lower leaves. Okay, so before the cutting of the branch, you can first of all the topping is done. The topper shoots are pulled from that branch. Why? Because of the uniform maturity of the leaves, and after the uniform maturity of the leaves, these branches are cut entirely. These branches are cut and give to the worms for the feeding purpose. Then the next third method is the whole shoot harvest method. Here the branches are cut at ground level by bottom pruning. Okay, and then the shoots are harvested at interval. These shoots are at harvest interval of 10 to 12 weeks, and thus 5 to 6 harvests are made in year. Okay, या मेथडमध्ये काय करायचं, एंटायर ब्रांच बॉटम प्रूनिंगने काढली जाते आणि ती किती 10 ते 12 दिवस आठवड्याच्या इंटरवलनं काढली जाते, आणि असे जे आहेत 5 ते 6 वेळा एका वर्षातनं याची होल शूट हार्वेस्ट केला जातो. So here are some advantages and disadvantages of the whole shoot harvest method. So first we see the advantages of the whole shoot harvest method. So first is the leaves remain fresh on branch, so that we can. Then second one is the labor requirement is reduced up to 50%. Then for every kilogram of cocoon producing, there is the saving of 2 to 3 kg of mulberry leaves. बघा, 1 किलो जर कोकून प्रोडक्शन करायचं असलं तर या मेथडनं आपण जर हार्वेस्टिंग केलं तर आपण जवळपास 2 ते 3 किलोग्राम मलबेरी लीव्स आपण सेव्ह करू शकतो. अँड प्रोडक्शन production of better quality and quantity cocoons is ensured. बघा, होल शूट मेथडने आपल्याला क्वालिटी आणि क्वांटिटी सुद्धा कोकोनची व्यवस्थित बेटर क्वालिटी मिळू शकते, बेटर क्वांटिटी मिळू शकते. देन दी प्रोडक्शन ऑफ मोर ऑर्गॅनिक मॅन्युअर. ओके, प्रोडक्शन ऑफ मोर ऑर्गॅनिक मॅन्युअर्स. These are the advantages. Next are the disadvantages of whole shoot harvest method. Here, for silkworm rearing, 30% more space will be required. Okay, to store the shoots in that rearing house, we require the 30% more space for the storage purpose. And every time the silkworms are reared, there will be pruning. Hence the material for replanting will not be available. बघा, प्रत्येक वेळेला आपल्याला हे काय करावं लागते, सिल्कवर्म्स आर रेअर, देअर विल बी दी प्रूनिंग. प्रत्येक वेळेला आपल्याला ती प्रूनिंग करावी लागते. त्यामुळे जे काही प्लांटिंग मटेरियल आहे ते आपल्याला मिळू शकत नाही, ते नॉट अवेलेबल. ओके, when we you're going for the planting or for planting of this mulberry, then because of the shoot pruning, you can't get the planting material or you can't get the cuttings for the planting purpose. So these are the disadvantages of the whole shoot harvest. And then last point is the preservation of leaves. How can preserve the leaves? Okay, so you can preserve the leaves in preservation chamber or wet gunny bags to store the leaves, or they cover the bamboo baskets with wet gunny bags to keep it cool and fresh. So this is the method used for the preservation of the leaves. So this is all about the mulberry cultivation. Okay. So is there any difficulty? काही प्रश्न असतील, काही विचारायचं असेल तर विचारू शकता आता. ओके. आहे कोणाला काही डिफिकल्टी? So how many people are joined through YouTube? YouTube में कितने people आहेत? They can give their reply in chat box of the YouTube. Okay, is there any difficulty? कोणाला काही अडचण? Okay, shall I stop? थांबायचं का?